We are going live. Checking the status. Should be going live. I'm gonna do not disturb on the phone because I'm focused on today's episode. We will start in a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds. We're gonna go straight to it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Friday. Happy Friday. And wow, give it a few. Let's run the credits. Appreciation for those for the last episode. Thank you so much. If you're joining me and you're able to hear me, shoot a quick chat. If you're logged into your Google account, your Gmail account, and you're watching me, just send me a quick chat. Just say, hey, how you doing? You're able to hear me? Thumbs up, whatever. And let's get straight into it. Welcome back, guys. It is Bernardo from the server room, episode 80. Wow, 80. Jesus Christ. I think this is like season 3 of the server room. I've been taking it super easy, super slow with the server room lately, doing a lot of PowerShell, Cisco packet tracer stuff, a lot of more PowerShell, a bunch of PowerShell. I did a little bit of Windows stuff, and the Windows stuff, you guys like it a lot, especially when it comes down to configuring and installing particular server features such as like WSUS or print servers or file shares. You guys like that a lot. I would like to incorporate that stuff, but for me, I mean, it's kind of boring. I try to do things that interest me. You know, I do appreciate you guys a lot, but the topic has to interest me. I have to be passionate about it for me to actually do it. So you saw the title. It's all about folder redirection, or another term would be roaming profiles. So I already actually configured everything behind the scenes because I wanted to test everything out before I did the episode, because I don't want to look like a screw up and like waste your time. I will show you everything that I did. Eventually the lights will go off because it's on a timer, so I might stand up and wave my hands like a crazy person. So hopefully you guys are able to hear me, see me, hear me. If you are able to see and hear me as well, shoot a quick comment. Say, hey, I hear you, thumbs up, good to go. All right, so we're gonna go straight to it. So I'm gonna share my desktop. Boom. I am logged into PC01. We are going to launch my management console, which has all the plugins, all my add-ins. It has my Active Directory, DNS, and group policy management. You saw the title of today's episode, via GPO. So we will be creating a group policy to do the folder redirection. So I have a server file share. This is a Windows Server 2022. Almost all this lab that I'm running on this laptop is all my servers are server 2022. And this file share, I actually created it when I did the video about the backing up the domain controller. I needed to have a network share to drop the Windows backup of that domain controller, and this is the server that I created for you guys during that, you know, those 2 videos that I pushed out. So I'm going to take advantage of it because I have it on the network. So within the server manager, again, I have already the file services already built in here. What I did was I went inside shared or shares, and I created a new share called profiles. Okay, if we go into the file explorer, it's actually located on the C drive, and shares and profiles. I actually created a test. Kill that because I don't need that anymore. Bye bye. Yeah, so profiles, and we already have a user in here called Bruce Wayne, because like I said before, I was testing and vetting everything out. And Bruce Wayne, when I logged into a PC within this small little lab, it redirected the desktop, documents, and downloads. Now, my GPO is configured to only redirect these 3, but Microsoft actually gives you more options to redirect, like the music folder, video folder. I think you're also able to redirect your app data folder as well, which is pretty cool, especially for those end users that are using Chrome. And Chrome uses the app data, I believe, local or roaming folder, which kind of, you know, gets crazy large because of all the bookmarks and stuff. So you actually uses the app data. You're able to redirect that stuff. But if you have multiple end users that have like big profiles, your file share is going to get extremely big. So make sure that you kind of scope out your file share properly and think 5-10 years later. So Bruce Wayne, this is a user account that I tested everything out. It was working with no problem. It works. But I'm not going to use Bruce Wayne for today. I'm actually going to use another account that's not here because I want to show you guys that it actually works correctly. And so the file share is already created. If you do not know how to create a file share, I'm going to do it super quick for those individuals. Again, like I said, the light just went off. So give me 1 sec to actually turn on the lights. All right, so we're back. Like I said, the lights went off. I got to try to fix that timer. Eventually, I'm going to fix the timer. So to create a share within this location, you could just go to tasks, new share. The one that I did was a quick SMB share, right? Clicked on next here. I left everything as the default. You are able to change the volume if you have a separate partition, or you have like a NAS or iSCSI partition within your file server, or you have a, you know, a NAS connected to this. Boom, you just select it. Or if you have a custom path, you do it that route. Click on next. Provided a name, let's call it test for now because that's what I did. It's going to drop it in C shares because that's the default local path that I had. But if you selected something from this right here, you're going to see it here. It's going to be dropped here. I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to go next. Well, let's go next. I did allow caching for this shared. You are able to encrypt the data access. Is up to you. And then you're able to make the modifications on the permissions. Okay, I'm going to cancel this, hit yes here because we don't want that. Let's refresh. Okay, and I'm going to go back in here because I feel like I didn't even confirm it last time and it just creates the folder for you. So let's delete it again because I don't want that. Okay, so once you have your centralized or central location of where you want your profiles located, the next step is configuring your GPO. The way that I approached it, so I'm gonna go to PC01. I mean, I'm able to go to DC, but if you know me, I've said it a couple of times, I do not like going into the server directly to do anything. I like to do everything remotely. So within here, within my Active Directory, I did a couple of things. Within my groups OU, I created a security group called BTNHD folder redirection. You could give it whatever name you want. It is up to you. So let's double click on it. And as the name applies, it's pretty simple. Whoever's in this particular group is going to is going to get redirected to their, their folders are going to get redirected depending on how we configure the GPO. Now, you saw with Bruce Wayne, I only had 3 folders being redirected when he logs into his PC. That would be the desktop, my documents, and downloads. But you are able to, change it up. So the members that are in this group would be Barry, Bruce, and Dick Grayson. So these 3 individuals, once they log into any PC within my network, right? Hypothetically, if they're logging into multiple machines on the network, their profiles are going to roam with them. So if they drop something inside their downloads or their desktop and they log into another machine tomorrow or a few weeks later, that file that they dropped is going to be roaming with them. It's going to follow with them. Okay. So today we're going to log in with Barry Allen and let's cancel that. So I created a security group. I added all the users that should have folder redirection, and it is time for us to create the GPO to make this stuff work. So I think, and I did this on the DC, so let's go in my DC because I actually had some notes in my DC. So the first thing that I did was I created a text file to make everything super simple. This is basically a copy and paste when you create the GPO. So you are going to use the UNC path of your where you want to drop the profiles, and you want to use this global variable, which is percent username percent. Username percent username percent is a global variable which will actually provide the user's SAM account name, right? So when they log into the PC, it's going to be there. And then desktop, downloads, documents. So this is actually my cheat sheet that I use behind the scenes. I like to do this because this is pretty fast. You could just highlight, copy, paste into where you need to do when we do it. So we're actually going to do another one together. So I am going to do, let's copy this. And I think the other one that they have in the list, because those are the only 3 that I have, but we also have pictures, right? I don't know if you want to have your end users, I don't know if you want, you know, to redirect your end users pictures, but you are able to do that. So let's copy that. Let's change this. Let's delete documents and let's add pictures. So this is what I am going to update the GPO for the next person that's going to log in. Again, Barry Allen is who I'm going to use to log into PC01. And I'm going to show you guys right now, because earlier I don't have Barry Allen here. And I think on PC01, this is the one that I'm actually going to use with Barry. So I'm going to close this up because I'm going to log in as Barry. Actually, I'm going to log in as Barry as of yet. But I'm going to open up the file explorer within PC01, and let's go inside the C drive and let's go into users, because I want to show you guys that Barry Allen is not logged into this machine. I don't want you to think that, you know, I'm blowing smoke up your butt, you know. Apologize for that scenario, but I just want to show you that I'm not pulling any smoke, you know, doing any magic behind the scenes and stuff is working. Barry Allen is not signed into this account. So I think Bruce Wayne was actually configured and signed into 02 when I vetted everything. Okay, so we're gonna make some modifications, and let's minimize this. Let's open this up again. And let's get into the group policy. So I created a security group. I added all the members into that security group. So it's time for us to create our group policy. Our file share, our centralized location is already created for us. So let's open up group policy management. I'm going to open up my domain forest, go to domains, go into my domain, and we are going to go into group policy objects. Now let's open this up. So this particular group policy actually tackles the user configuration size. So when creating GPOs, you have the computer configuration and then you have user configuration, right? So whatever modifications you want on the computer level, on the GPO, you do it on the computer level, and that will only affect the computer object, the PC that the person is logging into. Now, when the person is logging into, they're using their SAM account, their user. You also have user profile user configurations that you're able to configure the GPO. For this, the folder redirection is definitely a user configuration section. So that's why I named it as user folder redirection. It's pretty self-explanatory. So let's right click on this and let's click on edit. All right, let's zoom out real quick. It's loading up. Awesome. Let's open this guy up. So like I said before, this is based on user. We're not even going to touch the computer configuration section. We're going to go into policies, and I believe it's located within Windows settings. Within Windows settings, there's a folder. Hopefully you guys are able to see. Let's zoom in real quick. And then there's a folder called folder redirection. So as soon as you expand that folder redirection, these are all the folders that we are able to redirect. So I already did desktop, and I already did documents, and I already did downloads. And let me zoom out real quick. Cool. So when you click on one of the folders, you're not going to see the configurations that I made on the right hand side. So the only way to see the configurations or to make modifications is to right click on it, go to properties, and within properties, then you're able to see the the changes, right? We will make some changes because I have to get in there and make some changes. Okay, this is weird. Let's click on edit. Let's click on browse. That's a weird one. I don't know why I'm getting the SID for that one. That's a weird one. Let's go into documents, see if the same thing happened. Very weird on that one. We can make some changes on that. So let's go back in here. I'm gonna copy all of this real quick. I wonder, let's see, let me open up on the DC level and see if that happens the same way. I want to check out, because that's kind of strange that it is showing the SID rather than the full qualified domain name, or the the name of the group. So I'm just checking real quick on the domain, see what's going on. Typically don't like doing this. See, so it's weird that it shows the name here, but when I'm doing it remotely, it's showing the SID. So that's weird. All right, so I don't want to mess anything up, bro, over here. So I'm gonna stop doing stuff remotely from this section. But like, it's gonna break. Windows 11 is just trash when it comes with the RSAT tools. So let's go back inside DC, and like I said, yeah, you're not going to see anything on the right hand side, so you actually got to right click and go to properties, and then this is the group, and this is the share. Right, so let's make modifications on the GPO, because I want to show you guys what I did. So I already did the picture. No, I didn't do the pictures, so let's do pictures together. So let's copy that. Awesome. Let's find pictures, and pictures is here. We're going to right click on it, and we're going to go to properties, and we're going to get the window. So by default, the target is going to be set to not configured. All right, so hopefully you guys are able to see. If not, let me zoom in real quick. The zooming sometimes kind of glitches a bit, but when you right click on the pictures folder or whatever folder you want to get redirected, you're going to get the properties for this. By default, you're going to see this. The first tab is target, and the second tab is settings. For the target, let's click on the drop down, and you have a bunch of them. I typically do advanced, specify location for various user groups, right? And then you have, okay, specified your security group. We have a security group. Cool. So let's click on add. So what security group? So we already have a security group. So whatever security group you created for this to work, just enter it here. BTNHD folder redirect. You don't have to type everything. Just click on check name. It is going to find it within Active Directory and kind of like change the name, and also give it an underscore, and then click OK. Beautiful. So now the target folder location. What do you want to do? By default, it is set to create a folder for each user under the root path, or redirect to the following location, or redirect to the local user profile. So for this, I did redirect to the following location, the root path. Now the root path, I'm going to copy and paste into here, right? File share, profiles, percent, username, percent, and pictures. Okay. And we're going to click OK here. Boom. Awesome. You're able to click apply right away, but let's go into the settings tabs, and within the settings tab, we want to do the following. Now, this is really up to you, the policy removal. I'm going to start here first rather than here. So for the policy removal, you are able to leave the folder on the new location when the policy is removed, or redirect the folder back to the local user profile location when the policy is removed. This is really up to you. Can't really tell you what's best practice and what to do here. It really depends. I've seen a lot of companies, they leave it as leave the folder in the new location when the policy is removed. Okay, and then from here they typically uncheck this, grant the user exclusive rights to pictures, because if you leave this enabled, if you leave this check off, what's going to happen is the only person that's going to have access to this folder, the pictures folder, is only the end user. I think admins, domain admins, are stripped away, and you're not going to be able to see it. Plus, if you're backing up that particular profiles folder, you're going to have issues on your backup program because it doesn't have the particular rights. Yeah, you're able to right click on it, change the ownership, but that's just so much trouble just to get full access to that folder to either view it or do a recovery for the end user or do whatever to it. So unchecking that would be great. Now it says move the contents of pictures to the new location. Yeah, we're going to keep that as is, and we are going to click apply. You're going to get this nice little warning. Click yes here to continue, and let's click OK. So pictures is already done for us. Awesome sauce. Yeah, so if you right click, go to properties, go to settings, these are all the changes. I'm gonna see something. Let's go to desktop because I like to keep all the settings the same. So the desktop, I did the same thing, move the content of desktop to the new location. So I unchecked that, and I like to keep everything consistent. So I'm gonna do the same thing with pictures, but I can't really tell you like, hey, you know, do this, do that. But I like to keep everything consistent because if I did it over here, my desktop and my documents, and also within my downloads, if I go inside my downloads and go to properties, I know within the settings I did the same thing, and I like to keep everything nice and consistent. All right, keep everything nice and consistent because if it worked in the past, it's gonna work again. So keep everything lined up. So again with the light, give me 1 sec. All right, I'm back. Told you the light keeps on turning off. That's crazy. I gotta definitely fix that. Gotta fix the timer on that. So the policy is already configured, and again, you are able to go crazy here. Like, look at all the folders that you're able to redirect. But like I said earlier, you gotta kind of do a little homework and a little research and kind of understand your end users and create your centralized location properly. Think 5, 10, 20 years in the future, and, you know, spec out and configure your share properly. Because if you're giving your share maybe 1 terabyte and all of a sudden the end of the year it's at 500 gigs left, like, holy crap, what are your end users doing? Now you are able to modify quota, you are able to, you know, scan all the profiles to see if end users are downloading mp3s or downloading weird videos, and run reports and, you know, send alerts to your end users and tell your end users, hey, you need to clean up your recycling bin. Hey, you need to clean up your downloads folders causing problems. It's too big. You could do all that stuff, but it's really up to you. I can't really tell you, okay, this is best practice. So make sure that you spec out your centralized location properly so you won't have any issues. If you have like a virtual machine, you are able to increase the, you know, that hard disk anytime you want, but again, you're taking away to add, you know, just make sure you spec it out properly. So I did the pictures because I made the configurations here. Let's go inside PC01. Let's sign out of here. I'm gonna go to start, and the file share, right? My centralized location is configured. Perfect. We did the GPO. GPO is super simple to create. Hopefully you guys understand how to create GPOs. If not, I can show you real quick. So within my DC, just creating a GPO, this is already done. You are able to configure the start menu, music, videos, favorites. You're able to configure everything. But for this example, I did desktop, I did documents, I did downloads, and what else I did? Pictures. So I also did pictures. So those are the 4 that I'm only doing for this episode. But again, you guys are able to go crazy here. So once you make your modifications, just close it up and then apply to your OU. Now, because this is a user group, right? You are able to just apply it directly to a user OU. Okay, so that's what I did. I basically linked this GPO to only my users. Now, it's not really getting any of these guys right here. because it's only users, and these policies are only for computer and the firewall, and it's towards the server side. But I am able to just remove their inheritance, you know, enable inheritance, so these guys could go down and trickle down to the users. But it's based on computer, so I'm okay with that, only users. So I applied the user to this. That's it. Cool. So once you apply it to the particular user group, let's go inside PC01. Again, I've never logged into this machine as Barry Allen, so let's do it together. It's going to take a while because, again, this is the first time it is logging in. Barry.Allen, that is the SAM account. That's the format. And Barry Allen is what was the account that I created with you guys on episode 79, right? When we did the PowerShell using a spreadsheet to create Active Directory accounts. So let's open up here. Yep, Barry Allen. If we double click on Barry Allen, go to accounts, this is the SAM account, Barry.Allen. All right. And hopefully, and I took notes because I forget, like, this is my notepad, dude. I always forget. So the password for this guy, let's enter the password. Let's hit enter. So this is another problem that I've had issues. The trust relationship between this workstation and the primary domain has failed. Yes. This is a common problem. And let me see something real quick, because I can actually do something. All right, so give me one sec. Let me log into a cache profile, which is my cache profile. So we're actually gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix it live. Hopefully we can fix it live. And that's the reason why I wasn't able to see Bruce Wayne in this account, because I actually did it on this account, my PC02. We're not going to start that account, but because this domain account is already logged into this machine, is already cached in, I am able to do the following. So I am going to try to fix this stuff with you live. So it's killing two birds with one stone. You guys are actually learning how to do the folder redirect. Cool. And we're also going to fix that relationship, that Windows trust relationship together, which I actually have a video that I wanted to do for you guys, but we're gonna do it real quick together. So let's right click on the start menu. Let's run the terminal as an admin. Let's click yes here. And I open up my OneNote because I've had this issue before several times, and sometimes you forget what you did. I have to look at my notes. So the following we need to do, we're going to do a reset. And again, this is off topic. This is not even part of the stream, but it happened with me, so I want to do it with you guys. So we're going to do a reset pass computer. Hit the autocomplete. Yep, hit the tab. Reset computer machine password. We're gonna give it a switch of server, and the server name would be the full qualified domain name, so it would be DC01 BTNHD. I'm gonna give it a space, and we're going to give another switch of credentials, and it's going to be administrator. I'm going to hit enter. It's going to ask for the password. We're going to give it the password. Boom. Awesome. Let's exit out of here. Let's do a quick reboot. I've seen different ways. Let me do this. I've seen different ways to actually fix the Windows trust relationship failure problem. It's like the PC or the workstation PC is the same thing, right? Damn, and it's doing Windows updates. This is gonna be a while. Sugar. If this takes too long, we just boot up PC02 and try logging into Barry Allen into that. The whole Windows trust relationship failure, I've seen people go into Active Directory, locate the computer object, and then right click and then do a reset on that. And that would typically work. If that doesn't work, removing it from the domain and then re-adding it to the, well, removing it to the domain, go inside Active Directory, make sure that the computer object was removed from the domain. If it didn't, delete that computer object and then go back inside the PC and then re-add it again and then log in. That's another approach. Another approach would be the approach that I just did, doing the reset computer machine password, commandlet within PowerShell. Make sure that you're running PowerShell as a full admin. Once you do all that and you don't receive any errors and it goes straight through, reboot the machine, which I'm rebooting right now. I'll show you rebooting. Once it reboots, try again. So that's what I just did. I did the PowerShell approach rather than doing the resetting the computer object. If you don't know what I mean with the resetting the computer object, is basically locate the computer, right click on it, and then do a reset account. That typically works. If not, removing the computer from the domain, which is a long process. Going back here, make sure that it disappeared from the domain. If it didn't, just right click and then delete it, go back into the machine and then re-add it again. So we're good. Hopefully the machine reset fixed the problem. So the way that we will see if it works, so let's do Barry Allen and give the password. Hopefully I remember the password. Sure, remember the password because I gave it, right? Let's hit enter. Okay, boom, it worked. The PowerShell commandlet works. So it's like two birds. We just killed two birds with one stone. Awesome. I'll show you guys how to do the Windows Trust relationship failure, how to fix that real quick. Again, I do have a future video that I am working on. I'm going to show you guys, do a little slower because I did pretty quick right now, but it worked out. Awesome. Happy. So while that's logging in, we are able to jump into the file share, because right now what's happening is it's logging in, we're getting the welcoming kind of thing in the circle, and that's because this is the first time that we are logging into this machine as Barry Allen. So the profile needs to get created, and because the GPO is in place and Barry Allen is part of that security group, it's going to take a while for it to get redirect all the folders. Right now it's going to shrink because each profile has a different resolution. So I got to change the resolution on this profile to look a little bigger. It's super small. But if we go inside the file share while this is still loading, there goes Barry Allen. And again, I showed you guys before, I logged in, Barry Allen wasn't there, so there's no magic. And look at the timestamp, 7:12, 11:20, and it is 11:20, 58, 59 seconds, and 11:21. So the GPO is kicking in, the security group is kicking in, and if you were paying attention before, I was logged in as Bernardo.Orocho, and you're probably saying to yourself, why is Bernardo.Orocho not part of this? It's not part of it because I'm not part of the security group that's going to get the folder redirection. So everything that I do as Bernardo.Orocho is going to be local. All right, so Barry Allen. So the Bruce Wayne one, I had the GPO only set to redirect these three folders. During the video, during this episode, we configured the GPO by adding an additional redirect, and that would be pictures. So if the pictures folder was set up properly, if I go to Barry Allen, we should see pictures, and there goes pictures. Give yourself a pat in the back. Good job. There you go, guys. That's it. And then whatever you drop inside your folders, you're good to go. And then when you go inside the desktop folder, you have full permissions to do whatever. You're actually able to drop stuff for them. I've seen job sites like that when end users delete something and then you recover it from backup. You just drop it inside their desktop and then like, oh, just check your desktop and it's there. So let's go back inside PC01. It is still configuring itself because again, it is the first time that we are logging in as Barry Allen. Barry Allen is the Flash for those that don't know. Hopefully you do know. And yeah, we got one item already on the desktop, and that is the Microsoft Edge shortcut, which is great. So that's working properly. That's still going. Yeah, that's it. Man, this is a pretty good episode. Pretty simple. Wow, I got couple of drop frames today. Crazy. We're like 10,000 kilobits per second, and I got 37 drop frames. That is nuts. All right, so we're gonna let this happen. We're gonna continue. We have Nick. He said, off topic, what's your mic setup? Well, for my live stream, it depends. Right now, because I'm off site, I'm at the labo. I am using a Audio Technica. I forgot what model this Audio Technica is. I can't remember what model this Audio Technica is. It's one of the good ones. I actually have two of these. I have the USB one, and this is the XLR one. And I can't remember which Audio Technica is this. So I'm gonna look up the model for you. I'm not gonna leave you hanging. All right, so that's still loading. It's Audio Technica, and this one is the XLR. But because I don't have a mixer to do an XLR cable directly, you know, an XLR cable from here to a mixer, I don't have a mixer, so I have to actually use the Shure X2N XLR to USB adapter. So it converts the XLR port to a USB, which the USB is connected to a laptop, and the laptop is what's capturing the audio, and I'm using OBS to capture the laptop. That's my audio setup. But the brand is definitely a Audio Technica. I just don't know which model. So, and again with the light. And this is the Audio Technica. Oh, wait. Microphone. And the freaking light always goes off for me. So this one right here, yeah, this is the Audio Technica AT Apple Tom 2020. Okay, B&H actually sells it for $100. It's a good price. Give me one sec. All right, so hopefully I answered the question, Nick. It's the Audio Technica AT Apple Tom 2020. B&H sells it. BNH Photos Video.com. It's not a plug, or it's not a sponsorship or anything like that. They're selling it for $100. This is the XLR version if you want to use XLR. If you want to use the USB one, they do have a USB one. And they got actually different models. They got an AT 2020 USB X, which is the one I have at home, which is a direct USB. This is the XLR one. That's $129. And then they have another model, an AT Alpha Tom 2035, $149. So they're pretty. It's pricey. I mean, the $100 one is the one that I have, super cheap. It's right in my budget, $20. If you want to use the XLR and you want to use it as a USB, this guy right here is going to cost you like a buck something, $100 or something. And then, you know, I didn't want to buy an additional USB one. All right, so hopefully that answers your question. So let's go back to picture to picture, and we're logged in as Barry Allen. And I'm gonna go into Barry, and let's change the display because the display is like crazy. Each time you log in, they have their own settings. I'm gonna change it to 200% so it can look nice and big. That's what she said. All right, so to test everything out, we saw within the file share, everything got redirected. But if we create a folder called test document, let's say hello world, famous hello world, exclamation point, boom. If we go inside the file share and we're inside Barry Allen's profile, we go inside desktop, we're going to see hello world. Boom. So again, folder redirection is completed. So we did the file share. So hopefully you guys understand the whole file share concept. We created a security group. We added all the members that need to get their folders redirected. We created the GPO. I did everything behind the scenes because I tested everything before I did the the episode with you guys, but we made modifications to the current GPO. Hopefully you guys understand how to create GPO. If you don't know how to create a GPO, let's do it real quick before I head out. So on the DC, again, I don't like doing anything on the DC, but PC01 doesn't have my management tools because I'm logged in as Barry Allen, and Barry Allen is not an administrator. But let's say on the domain controller or wherever you want to go, make sure you open up your group policy management console, and from here you could, if you know what particular OU you want to drop this GPO into, you could just find the GPO, find the OU, right click on it, and then create the GPO on the spot. I like to go inside the group policy objects folder, right click, and just click on new, give it a name. Let's give it tests. Boom, done. And locate it, right click on it, and then click on edit, and then you make your modifications. Now just to sum it up real quick from here, because folder redirection is a user configuration setup, right? You want to go inside the user configuration, and goes policies, within policies, Windows settings, within Windows settings, folder redirection, and then within here pick which one you want to redirect. I like to have a cheat sheet with everything already set up, so all I have to do is just copy and paste. Find the one that you want, right click on it, go to properties. This is a quick summary, really quick. Go to settings. I like to do advanced, click on add your group, change the target folder. I like to do redirect to the following location, and then provide your path. Go to settings, change the settings. Make sure you uncheck grant user exclusive rights. I can't stress that enough. Don't have that enabled. Disable it, because if not, you will lose access to it, and then you will spend half the time making changes on the folder, on the file level, on file share level. You're gonna constantly come in here. You gotta, not here, but go in here, go to properties, and then you have to make crazy amount of settings to actually have full access as a as a system administrator, right, or whoever needs to manage it. You don't want that. So definitely make sure you uncheck that grant exclusive access before your end users start doing this, doing their thing. And you can actually set this up if you don't have folder redirection already configured within your environment. You could set this up and send comp out an email to all your end users and say, hey, please restart your machine, or please log off. I would say restart your machine and let them log in, and then the GPO will kick in, and then all their profile stuff will get redirected. If you don't have something like this in place, you are still able to configure it and just send a communication email to your end users and just let them know what's going on. Tell them to restart their machine and log in, and once they log in, also let them know it's going to take some time because the new policy is kicking in and is redirecting all their stuff to the new location, so you can back it up and keep it safe. And that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode 80. Wow, damn, we're getting there. I'll catch you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend. Stay hydrated because it's getting hot up there. It's getting hot out there. Ugh. Yeah. Catch you guys on the next one, and peace out. All right, so how do I end this? I always forget how to end it. Is it over now? Is it over? Nah.